So this bonus question is coming off of the heels of our last Easter episode where we were talking about Lo, He Comes with Clouds Descending. And the subject of this hymn is about the second coming of Christ. And I kind of hinted at it during the episode, but my husband found this song after a long and tedious search for hymns on the second coming of Christ. Now, we obviously know about Joy to the World, which is a song about Christ's second coming, though we sing it at Christmas. And actually, weirdly, I think we sing Lo, He Comes with Clouds Descending mostly around Christmas as well. Those who know the song sing it around Christmas. I mean, that's two. Why do you think there are so few hymns on the second coming of Christ?
That's a very good question. I have thoughts on this. The summary of those thoughts would be that there are so many different and conflicting viewpoints on what actually happens at the end that it's possible that there are hymns out there that are just completely wacky, so we don't sing them. Or it may just be that hymn writers don't really talk about it because it's a sticky subject, which is a cop-out. They should talk about it anyway.
Yeah.
But that might be why. It could just be a kind of tactful thing. I don't know. What do you think?
You know, that's a good point that you raise. I wonder, because you think about the hymn that we talked about this week, and it's basically just like stealing from scripture, right? Because Jesus actually talks about his return a lot, you know, like it's a frequent topic, obviously in the New Testament, but even out of Jesus' mouth, he's always talking about like what's going to happen. And some of it's kind of mysterious and some of it is confusing. I understand that. But like the hope of the Christian is so solid. Jesus is coming back. You would think we would sing about it with that confidence. Like if Jesus is not coming back, what are we doing? Right?
Yeah.
We all are sure. All of us who have faith in Jesus are sure he's coming back. But there's just so few hymns out there.
I mean, if you think about it, a lot of songs talk about us going to heaven and being with him. But they don't talk about him coming back for us. So I wonder, I don't know. It's a weird one, isn't it? I guess maybe we just don't expect him to come back. Maybe we're just like, I'm going to die first. But we don't know that, so.
Which is weird because, like, how often does scripture talk about heaven?
I know. It talks about judgment. I'm pretty sure it talks about judgment far more than it talks about heaven.
I get speaking of, like, you know, the afterlife kind of poetically as heaven, or even the skies as the heavens.
Yeah.
But interesting thoughts. I would be curious to know what our subscribers think, because sometimes we live in a corner. We live in a corner of the earth, and maybe there's some other corner of the earth and they're like, man, I could name like 100, second coming hymns right off the cuff. That might be true. They ain't the ones that are too popular. So maybe that's why they don't really get included in a lot of hymnals. Maybe there's a particular writer who, focused a lot on it. Like, for example, we had Kevin Twitt on to speak on Anne Steele, and Anne Steele was known for kind of her hymns that dealt with despair and depression, and maybe it's same with Cooper. Maybe there's someone out there who's like, every other hymn is like, Jesus is coming back. And then verse 2, maybe there's someone out there.
Do you think, sorry, I just had another thought.
Go ahead.
I just was thinking, do you think maybe it's too, not military, but you know what I mean? Like too conquering, subjecting the world, and people are embarrassed by that?
Muscular Christianity.
Yes, this colonial Christianity. He's coming and taking over everything. How dare he?
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of it, but that's quite a modern thing, so it wouldn't account for the Wesleys and Isaac Watts and that, really.
And I mean, to be fair, Wesley wrote this hymn, so he obviously was thinking about it. Maybe the hymns that exist out there have poor tunes and they've been buried under You know, maybe that's,
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like we, you know, us, it ends in a glory. This is our one of our little tags, and we love it because it does end in glory. But part of that glory, you know, the commencement of that glory is Christ coming back.
Yeah,
Yet we're just like,
glory can be two things. It can be us going to him, but it's really, really going to be him
yeah,
coming to us.
it's really, really, really.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed that bonus clip from the most recent episode of the Hymnpartial podcast. Make sure you go over to hymnpartial.com to sign up for our free weekly newsletter. And if you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and hit subscribe and ring the bell so that you don't miss another episode.